girls. Welcome back to 1111 True Crime. And if you are new to us, welcome. We are a very loving and kind and generous family. So with that being said, we're going to be talking Jay Slater today. I have taken a little time off of putting out videos and actually just been mulling it over in my head, rolling it around, and there's no way to solve a case when you're not boots on the ground. So I don't think I've solved it. But I do think in reviewing the case, I've come up with some questions that may lead us some answers. Now, Brad has been a focus of Warren, Jay's dad. He did a whole video of Tenerife. You've all seen it, and he focuses over on Brad sitting where Jay allegedly left the path, sitting in them little black trainers, right? Then we have another video where Warren is with Rachel, and we're going to be talking about what does this all mean. And then Wax Unfiltered, shout out to you, very good job, did some research and believes, to the best of his knowledge, that he has verified an account to be relative to the Jay Slater family. I'll leave it at that. Make sure and check his video out. But in that video, he shows that Facebook that may possibly really be the aunt of Jay calling out Brad and Rachel. Boom! Like majorly calling them out. And so one of the things that was said on that Facebook is, why now? Right? So I want to get your feelings, your thoughts, and then I'm going to take you with me on a little journey of what I've come up with in the Jay Slater case that might actually have some merit to it. We'll see if it sticks, right? It's all theory, speculation, my humble opinion, or yours. Let's say hello to a few people. Let me get chat up on the board. I missed you all. I've been so busy lately. I've had dentist appointments for all the family. We do a lot of stuff getting ready for winter because we don't like to travel on ice. So, hey, Electric Paramedic, good to see you. Kintish Tina, hello, hello. Althea, good to see you. My mods today, Jennyville. And I hope that move goes good for you. And I'm sure Jennifer will be along shortly. Rach is here. Not that Rach, she says, but a different Rach is with us. And then just a few more. Ocean Deep 24. Well, actually, there's a ton of you, and I just grabbed the very first because they come here first, right? So first come, first serve. I don't know. Go with it. So what does Brad know? He has contradicted himself in interviews where he's saying that he just came out of the rave himself, but yet in his, what we've heard that he is alleging is that he saw Jay get into a vehicle with Ab and Rocky and left the NRG rave. That's what we've heard. So how's he talking on the phone to Jay up in Masca hearing gravel roll if he just came out of the rave himself? So he couldn't have seen him get in the car, and then it doesn't work. Something's wrong there. Rachel makes this whole claim. I'm seeing if I have it on my board. I don't know if I do or not, but she makes this claim. Yeah, I do. Let me get it up on the board for you.
Right, so they've been to this festival and then they've ended up, my son said he wants to go back to the apartment. Jay had other ideas of going with these other lads, which they knew, which were fine.
Wait, what?
Come back.
Which they knew. Jay had other ideas of going with these lads, which they knew, which was fine. But yet, in the interview where Rachel is sitting with Debbie, rubbing her back, and Debbie's like, you can see Debbie's about to crawl out of her skin. She's pulling away. The body language is awkward, right? In that interview, she says, we just need to know who these people are. We need to know who these people are. But yet, in her own words here, which they knew, which was fine. So, which is it? And so there's been a lot of questions as to what Brad knows. A big focus of this whole trip up into the Masca Mountains with the little hut that had the scarves and the weird stuff all over it totally looks staged, or perhaps somebody actually lived there and they were going through somebody's things. I don't know. But one thing I noticed is they weren't using GPS and they weren't using things correctly. It was a game. It was really strange because Jay's ping would have come with the latitude and longitude. You'd know exactly where that ping was. You basically would be seeing your own self moving along, getting closer to that ping. Rachel is acting like she's half there, making up stuff, going along. It's off. So it all boils down to the bigger picture, and that's what we've got to figure out. When, forgive me, Jodine Sinclair says the rave finished at 4 a.m. Correct. He knows it all says electric paramedic. See, and I think you're right. You guys are already where I'm going. Hey, Buckshot George, welcome back. Good to see all these beautiful, familiar faces and the new ones. McMimi, Mimi, which I always refer to as Lucy as just a joke. But I appreciate you, Mimi. In fact, you can't trust anyone of the people involved. And why is that? How is it such a huge conspiracy theory if only these little 19-year-olds are controlling the narrative? It doesn't work. So something has to be over these players in the game, these NPC, these non-player characters, right? The ones that weren't really friends, but are popping up in the narrative all over. And I'm like, looking at the weeded garden that's just full of weeds. And I started picking out weeds, and I'm like, hold on. Let's first talk about the footage, and I'm not going to show it because it's nothing to do with the Jay Slater case. We have people that live in Tenerife. I am actually in contact with a couple of them that send me emails, and they have informed me, all of them, that the dumpster video by the church there, or you can see kind of like a church in a red dumpster, that aired live a week after Jay disappeared. So that would have to be a week after Jay disappeared. I'm not saying it wasn't Jay, but I don't think it happened during the time frame of, the day before, or the day after. I could be wrong, but I'm just not into that. And so I had to pull back my energy from the Jay case on the public side so I can sort out some things. And what I came up with, it left me like, boom! Like right now, I was like, I gotta go live. I couldn't sleep last night because I'm like, oh my golly, this actually says something. So in order for me to take you on this journey, I want to go through it with you in the appropriate way so that you can fully get where I'm coming from. You're going to throw a party at your house. Now, you live in a beautiful, large home. Very expensive, right? You're rich. And this is a ball for all these people to come and have this whole party with you. You've got security cameras all over because you have fine jewelry. You've got so many people there, you're worried something could happen. You've got security cams all over the place. The party ends at 4 a.m. The guests, they all have some stuff going on out in the front, in the vineyard, and all this. And by 5:30, 5:45, they've all mingered away. And you're cleaning up and doing your thing. Party's over, right? Open the door. Police. And you're like, what? And the guy comes in, he's like, oh, wait. I'm Inspector Columbo. We have a missing guest off your list. Nobody's seen him since they left your place. Here, I'll hold it like if I was rich or an inspector. And you're like, well, I've got cameras all over. I can prove that the guest left. Right? Is that not your first response, is to protect your arse and go get the security footage so that you can prove the person left your place? Isn't that the number one go-to immediately, is to prove that that guest left your property? Because then it's not your problem. It's better than an alibi, is proof that that person left your place. And you've got cameras all over the front, the back, the sides, and in every damn room but the bathroom. So let me ask you something. You now don't want to provide any camera source. And so you say, well, there's no camera footage. What? What do you mean there's no camera footage? You got cameras on every single wall in this place. Why would you not want to produce the camera footage? To protect yourself liably? To protect yourself from suspicion? But yet, the host of this big NRG festival, the owner of the facility, isn't working for these little kids, is saying no. And when we'd like to interview about the NRG rave and Jay Slater being here last, they're like, we have nothing to say. Well, we heard that the waitress gave him some water. We won't be commenting on that. You feel me? So then I'm like, that is absolutely one of the most important parts of the Jay Slater case. It's not that there's no CCTV footage anywhere else. It's that it won't be released to answer all the questions, nor do they claim that they have it. Troll alert. Well, then we're hitting a nerve, aren't we? The sassy inner is given the ick. I want to see what the troll says. Butt yard or Burt yard. What? Strawberry shortcake. Are you the pink stuff? Okay, I'll let you guys handle it. Should I do it? Burt yard, what the hell? Okay. I think I did it. Y'all. Thank you. Yeah, when we get it could be a Luggy, it could be a Christy. What's Jodine saying? Let's get up here and get in chat. It is an interactive live chat, true crime chat. So I do have a live audience, and they post and I share. So Jodine Sinclair says, crazy, is it who I think it is? All right. So let's remove the name of the place so that I can talk about this and cover my butt. So this little club and that little club, they're all individual hosts. They're not the one that is providing the venue. It's kind of like there's a little bar tavern down here and they'll hire a DJ The DJ isn't in charge of the cameras, really, right? No, the little bar is. But yet the DJ hops from place to place to place to place. Come to find out, so does Miss Lucy. She hops exactly every single one. She hops from the Green World Festival to the Cream Festival to the NRG Rave. And I've personally seen what appears to be Lucy's actual media post where she is selling tickets to raves. I've received some back information. That's all I'm going to say about it. That would lead me personally to believe that she works for those that host that own the raves. Okay, so she's a ticket scalp in a way. Not scalp, but ticket master. There we go, a ticket master. But she also, as you've heard, does other things. So if she works for them to sell ticket after ticket, no matter what, it explains why she's at every one of these little raves and why she's always seen with this group of kids, because they're all selling tickets. They're going to go to the rave. She pulls them in, sells the tickets, gets them there for the entire time, whatever. Now, if something happened to someone and she is working at that club, right, for that company that's putting on the show, and they're running neck to neck with this person, and all of a sudden something happens to him that could cause a liability for that NRG, for that group, that corporation, and they're not all on the up and up, it now becomes her problem. It becomes the employee's problem because they brought the liability in with them. Is that making sense? Anybody following me so far? I'm just going to leave things on the screen. You guys are following me. So now the main industry is based off of having this corporation come in and pop off here, over at this place, and over at that club, and pop off here. And they are the attraction that keeps the place hopping with these kids. If they go away, so does the entire tourist industry. Basically, it turns into an elderly retirement place. Now, what could have happened? And if the person left alive and well and there's no issue, why would you not be the host that says, here's proof he left alive? Done deal. But it's not there. It's not there at all. So then I'm like, okay, what could have happened at Papagayo or any club? I can't not say the club name. I'm terrible at this. All right, so what could have happened? Anybody? Ignore the trolls. Maybe it is Rachel. Fake taxi driver. Okay, Lauren. Now we're getting somewhere. But even before that happens, before, if he's not compos mentis, but they're helping him into the taxi, weekend at Bernie's kind of thing, right? Nobody's going to notice. But let's back up. Yes, makes sense, says Sandra. Mama, they're called the promoters. All right, thank you. Love the dance moves. Chat is flying by. Rachel, stop trolling. You know what? Leave them troll. Let them do their worst. We don't care. We really don't. That just means we're pushing the buttons. You can only get a troll when you light them up. Light it up. Hey, Kelly Thompson. Jaybird, the rats are about to eat each other. She tags them in her posts also. All right. Right. Okay. All right. Y'all are right. There's so much going on in chat. I'm just going to keep rolling with this. You guys are with me. Let me grab a drink. Now, back up before the person left the club. What could have happened at that particular club? Oh, I know. There was a disturbance that everybody saw. Remember when Crispy and his sidekick were all about, or maybe it was just Crispy, was all about how nothing could happen at Papagayo because it would attract everybody, because that's where the taxis are. That's where the police are. That's where all these people are. Well, something did happen, and it did. It attracted everyone. But yet there's no police report and there's no CCTV footage. It's gone. There's no report of anything stolen other than an interview or two. Could something have taken place, whatever it be, right then, and then go back to, let's go, oh my gosh, way back at the top, where she talked about a fake cab. See what I'm saying? That cab industry, if the owner of that club comes out and says, here's an extra whatever, you keep this ride between us, and then that's when the employees now that aren't female, that can take care of things, be like, come on, buddy, Weekend with Bernie, let's get in the cab. Right? Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. See you later. Moment. So if there was nothing that occurred at all and Jay just walked out of that club absolutely fine, why would they block the footage? So I've told you a long time I'm stuck there. Now come back to the Brad and Rach story. And when you look at it, Warren's video is showing Brad. Warren's video is showing Rach. We've got somebody on that Facebook that's looking at him going, why now? And shame on you. Don't trust nobody. And it's all about Brad's statement about Jay after Jay passed about love you forever or whatever. What? Now, I'm not saying that's 1,000% family. I'm just saying it's super sus to us, right? I'm going to jump over on chat a little bit. Jill Frank says, imagine if we all turned up to a rave. Well, imagine if you threw a party at your elegant house and the cops come knocking. Yeah, we need to see the CCTV footage from your security cam. We got a person that was a guest of yours and nobody saw him after your party. On what reason can you justify saying, no, I don't have it? Jaybird, the narrative. So now you follow me when I say we can't put the horse before the cart. It won't pull. These kids don't have enough power. A handful of kids do not have enough power to shut down that CCTV footage. And they're sure the hell not going to intentionally do something in front of thousands of people and under all the scrutiny of the phones and the cameras. So the kids did not intentionally do something that can be witnessed at that place. So now I ask you, let's go to the physical evidence, and that's all we have, is the picture of video after rave of that night. As it progresses, Jay starts undressing, he starts hanging low, and he don't look like he can maintain. You got Ahab wearing pink all night. Every time I think of Ahab, I think of him in pink. Is that a message? If you feel me. Why is he always wearing pink? Now that I understand the bigger picture. Who's understanding this? Exactly. We're going to get into Victor. We're going to get into Roman. Yes, you're following me. The side, I can't make fun of nobody. This, unless it's Luggy and Chris Tinnery, then I can. Amber Tossler said the strip CCTV was requested, but the mayor of Santiago denied the request and reasoned it was strictly a missing person case, and that's how it was kept. So now let's look at the politicks. The politicks. You follow me? Something happened there, or we would have footage, in my humble opinion. That's where I am at. I said I couldn't leave the NRG rave. There's a reason. And I kept saying there's no footage. But why is it being held back when it is the exact thing that would absolutely move this story forward, away from them? We would be completely out of that area, and the whole story would be like, okay, we're over in Masca. Let's focus there. Now, it's come to my attention as well that the actual place, the physical location, is managed and owned by property owners that also have been mayors and are mayors. So then that could explain why they are able to say no footage. Because they can watch out their window down the street and go ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Pay me, pay me, pay me. And who are they paying? They're paying all the big wigs. And who's paying the mayor? And then who's the mayor paying? The people that come in, that Lucy's all involved with, in my opinion. So you've got this little tangled net that's way above these kids and Ahab and Rocky. And now you see how crap rolls downhill. So crap happens for these people. They're going to poop it out on the ones below. The ones that brought the mess in. Cleaner. Ahab is the cleaner. You've been good to me, Roman. Ahab. Not Alba, not Alba. Ahab is the cleaner, in my humble opinion. Because now he's got to get this mess cleaned up. Because he works for others that are selling things. So he works for cafes that sell what everybody wants at the rave, right? And that cafe owner most likely is allowed at these places by those of the powers that be that own the places. See the chain? Keep hiding behind your curtains of a nightmare. We don't know if the police have CCTV footage. Crazy Cat says 2 organizers, 1 mayor, runners and cleaners. So first I thought this all had to be planned because of that message that says, about the AP watch and all this, and then the beach video. And now I'm like, wait a minute. If Jay walked out of that place absolutely fine, where's the footage? Why? What would be the motive? Because you would want it out there. Look, Jay walked away. We're good to go. Party on, kids. Party on. That didn't happen. That has never happened. And so to the person that posted the question, with the Liam Payne death and Jay Slater's, and they were like, why is it always got to be conspiracy? People fall to their death. And I'm like, why is the CCTV footage always gone? I mean, that's the key. If all the footage is there, well, then you're not hiding anything. Electric paramedics, says Wilson, and Mastrove are the ones who owns the events. One of them is called first name. In the start of it all was said that Jay owed a lot of money to a guy called MARK. I'm not saying the name because it's not my opinion. This is a person sharing it. I'm reading it for them. Rolex is a type of Charlie, by the way. This is just weird. Jaber goes on to say Aya put his name to renting the B&B, but it was Brandon who was the one who phoned that certain Spanish guy for help. What happened to the picture of Jay sitting on a boat? I still have it. I don't know if it's a boat, but it sure looks like it. Jay was on a boat this week, went to B&B. You've got this moment. I don't know. Okay. I was actually looking for this in my thoughts because somebody, it might have been you, Tracy. So, angel powder allegedly is pink stuff too. Stole an AP. Would you say AP? Let me look at that. Hold on. It is alive. So I want to look at the picture itself, and I have to go get it because that'll drive me crazy. I want to see the wording about the AP. And there's a billion pictures, so here, let's look at it. Yes, cuz ended up getting thrown out of there. Me with 2 Molly kids just took an AP off some CUNT on the way to sell it for 10 quid. That could work. That could work, I guess. So if there's no footage, why not? So if something rowdy did happen and Jay was an accidental victim of that, whether it was cut by a cactus or whatever over there with some ritzy European guy, could it have been squashed and him been a weekend at Bernie put into the cab? That video that Abe released where it's just vocals on the way to Masca allegedly with Jay, they're laughing because of a, it looks like a headshot, they said. I'm like, what is that about? Colin F. says, could we check beach footage from the day after from the same camera just to see if there are any bee stains or whatever? That'd be great if we had it, but we do not have that footage. I guess the question would be, how close were they to the tide coming up and washing? If the tide kept coming up all night, there would be nothing left, not just because the BLOOD would wash away, but because even the sand rolls away. If it happened closer off of that tide coming in at night, it would still all be there. I've thought of that too. I've tried. Tank Incorporated says that AP would be about 50,000 minimum, 50K. watch scene was used as a smoke screen for something that happened. I believe that too. So whatever happened at Papagayo, I think it was a distraction to get Weekend with Bernie in the car, because something happened right there, like somebody dropped. Otherwise, we'd have him walking away. We'd have footage coming out. It would make sense that if these kids are wanting to work with Lucy, that they're going to play right along with it. And if her job is now to fix what just happened at that club, because she brought the risk in, she's going to take it somewhere else. Where's she going to take it if you're on Tenerife? To the mountains. And if Ab is the cleaner, then he's got to get rid of what's left over. Why is it that we hear from Lucy that she said Jay got bitten by a cactus? Okay? But then when you hear Ab talk, he said, she told him that Jay was lying in a ditch and thought he was going to die. It's always a part of truth that is hidden in every single lie. If we listen to Lucy, she might be aware of Jay getting bitten by a cactus in whatever term that is to her. If Ab is the cleaner, his last thought is of Jay laying in a ditch, D-I-E-D, D-E-A-D. That's a possibility. But how do we know? We don't. But is Ab the cleaner for? You know, it just sounds funny, but what if Ab is throwing his own compliment on himself? You got a good cleaner, Roman. If he's the cleaner, he's saying, Roman, look at me, I did that for you. I don't know. Nobody wears that type of watch at a festival. Tank. Sue Benson says to the wrong-uns, where has all the CCTV footage gone? Do you think we're all stupid? You are going to get found out. Hi, Anita. Hello, hello. Exactly, Mama D, says Crazy Cat. Hey, Shirley. This is disgusting, really. It really is. Why would they not want to clear their name? Michelle McCrate says, do you think Jay may still be alive, Mama D? I do not. I do not. Anytime a high-profile case happens, when the heat gets on, if they're being held, I always believe that the risk is so high that they eliminate the risk. I believe within 20 days of that happening, there was, or even a week, whenever it hit national level, I believe that if Jay was, and I personally don't believe he left that club alive. I don't. I think it was a Weekend with Bernie moment into a taxi with Ab using Jay's hand. Hey, buddy, come on. Get him in the club. Get him in the car. Yeah. Bye-bye. Because otherwise we'd have footage saying, look, he walked on his own. He left the building. He got into a car. He walked away into the sunset. But there's nothing. And that is the one thing I bet they'd give anything to have, is footage of Jay walking on his own outside and leaving. They don't have that, or they'd give it to us. And so I'm looking at those last ray of footages where Jay isn't compos mentis anymore. And I don't buy he could do anything for himself much longer. And I kept saying, and my gut kept telling me, I'm not sure he would make it out the door. I don't think he did. He could have been found passed out in the bathroom or anything. But if he was okay and Jay walked out that place all on his own, absolutely fine, where is it that he's leaving this place? We're given a video much earlier in the night where Jay is coming around a corner and he's got a couple people following him, and they're saying that's when it's ending. I don't think so. I think that's people going to the bathroom or something. Ending is outside, right? Leaving the club. And there's cameras. Right, Susan Mary? It's crazy how many people are dying from falling from height. Could not walk, I mean, right? He would have had to have been supported because he couldn't walk. I get you. Right, Miss Jeanette? So if we boil this down and we pull out all the weeds from the garden in the Jay Slater case, we have to remember we cannot put the horse before the cart. These kids, even Brad, are not going to be able to control all the CCTV footage. Just ain't happening. No. There's somebody that can. We know that the mayor did. We know that the mayors all have some sort of a thing. And then we have the ex-mayor up here that Ab's all, Masca, isn't that owned by him? Allegedly. Ab talking about a cleaner when he is the cleaner. That's the ha-ha. Ab is not Alba, but Ab. 4 letters. You feel me? Exactly, Sarah. Sarah says, just a thought. She slipped up, she said, which they knew. If it was only Jay going with Ab, she should have said, which he knew. Right. Brad knew him too. But yet she says in the other interview, Rachel says, we just have to figure out who these people are. Why do you need to figure out who they are if Brad knows them? Tracy Jones, Mama D, I've watched Luke Ray. I have too. It's very interesting. She has footage at the church, which is very clear. It looks like Brandon and Jay. I'm not advertising another channel. Just interesting. Ocean Deep 24. Can we see where the back entrance is or exits at the back of that club? It just opens to the beach. There's no back entrance. You would not be able to just sneak Jay out unless he looked like he did. Because then you could have him with somebody else, like Ab and Rocky, right? Put his arms around and pull the Weekend with Bernie to a taxi, and ain't nobody gonna notice that. Especially if some little shenanigans is going on over here just to distract the police, the people, and be like, my watch is missing. Oh my God, who took my watch? And then, oh yeah, they got him in the car. Oh, never mind. It was on my right wrist. I guess I have it. Face it, they've already got a masterful presentation of distractions to get you to look over here. So that must be their MO, right? He is laughing up his sleeve. Good point, Sandra. He's the cleaner, in my opinion. That's the only reason he would have mentioned the cleaner, is if it was self-gratitude. Miss Jeanette, yes, opens on the beach. It is open air. Not even got a roof. It's just the beach. Like it's big open 10 foot by 10 foot with a little pole and 10 foot by 10 foot open to the air. No, Anita. Jay couldn't even hold his head up. How's he going to steal a watch, right? I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Colin F says that might be why Brandon is not showing his face. Yeah. The chain in the hut. If that hut was really there for that purpose, it wouldn't look decorated. It looks like a homeless home where somebody was staying. Hey, Steve the Cockney. How are you, lovely? Moonboot says, I don't think Rocky was ever there either. He's been told to say he was. Hey, Pucker Princess. Yes, Silver Chain. The hut looks like where they process product. Now you're talking. Oh, yeah. That all staged could be to cover that little cooker back there. What are they cooking out there? Feel me? Pucker says, and suddenly all the footage of Rocky just when everyone questioning if Rocky was even there, right? So if it all boils down to that we have absolutely no footage from that club, why? If Jay walked out that club alive and healthy, then there's footage. And why would you not use that to prove? Remember, if this was your party and they came and knocking, saying that no one saw this person after they went to your house and you had footage, and you could say, yeah, they came alive, they left alive, if you could really say that, wouldn't you give that footage up? The only reason not to is if you don't have that kind of footage. If that person did not leave on their own, that's a big problem then. And then you might be like, I have nothing more to say. And then you have to look at who owns the house, who's liable for that situation. And for the actual event, those hosting it have their little party people all around, bookers, right? Whatever they're called, bookies, I don't know. And they've brought in a liability that has become a big deal. Now they have to clean up their mess. And so the cleaner gets called, who likes to pat himself on the back. You've been good to me, Roman. You and your cleaner. So in that event, it starts making a lot more sense because we don't have the horse before the cart. We have the mules out in front and we have the drivers in the seat. You feel me? So my question is, if all the CCTV footage isn't there, it can't be the kids in the saddle on this horse. It has to be somebody of power. And what are they protecting? Their tourist industry. And how is that affected? If something happens at that venue, that's going to be a huge problem. Just saying. I love you guys. I'm not leaving the J case. I never will. I will be on it forever. I still work on the Summer Wells case behind the scenes. Okay? I don't give up on a case until it's solved. Until there's justice. I can finally say I let go of the Harmony Montgomery case because we're never going to find her pieces. We never are. But her dad is getting justice served. Quentin Simon's mom, Leilani, it all came back on you. All of it. So justice is coming for Jay too. It's just not happening overnight. But I pray for justice. And I pray for you. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I think it's a few hours longer. And I will see you again very soon. I love you to the moon and back. And I hope that you all stay very well and safe. That's a wrap, my beautifuls. Thank you for everything.